Thank you for joining us for another show of What's Cooking with Teresa. And we want to thank our lead sponsor, Traditions Bank, for being our sponsor of the show. And we have a guest today.
I'm Kim from Doug Doggett Jewelers, and here to help Teresa can and do our goodies.
And the goodies today are, we're going to do a gluten-free meal, but we put a little twist on it. We just didn't want a bland menu. We're doing a chicken cordon bleu, 7-layer salad, which is your favorite. We're doing a stuffed jalapeno peppers because peppers are coming in at this moment. We've got a blueberry crumble that we did, and they are wonderful blueberries. They came from our wonderful friend Kay Cable here from the station. And asparagus wraps.
Which is another one of my favorites.
I know. We've already done asparagus wraps in the past, but we've had a lot of demand and a lot of requests to do it again, so we're going to do it again. And the first segment of the show, we're going to show you how to can your vegetables. It's a dying art. I've canned for many years, and I want to go over the utensils, the equipment, and the proper canning instructions. So come back and join us for a unique and fun-filled show. We want to thank Traditions Bank of Coleman for being our lead sponsor of What's Cooking with Teresa. For your hometown banker with low interest rates, they have 6 locations to serve you. They have online banking. They have a wonderful, friendly staff. We have used Traditions Bank for years. Never a problem. They're always there for you. They do checking, savings account, in-house loans, and many more. You need to give Debbie a call at 256-735-2121. We also want to thank Doug Doggett and his family. Doug Doggett Jewelers is located on the south end of Coleman by Ryan Steakhouse. They've been in business for over 30 years. Wonderful staff. They're always there for you. They do customized jewelry. They do in-house jewelry repair, and that is very important. They have a wonderful Sorelli selection, and this fall, well, actually, starting now, they're going to have the new fall items coming in, so you need to get down there and check them out. Give them a call at 256-734-7883. And we have a new sponsor for the show, Mary Carter's. If you've never been in their store, you're missing a treat. They have so many items: pressure canners, pressure cookers, dehydrators, and accessories. They have radio flyer wagons and items for the children. They do customized picture framing, and they have a complete line of fishing tackle and live bait and cast iron cooking items. Now, you know cast iron is the in thing now. So where can you go to find all of those items in such a variety? And they have been in business for over 49 years. They know how to take care of their customers. They're located on 104 4th Street Southeast. Go by or give them a call at 256-734-7908.
Catering by Teresa is rapidly becoming a tradition to the people of Coleman County. For over 12 years, Teresa has catered corporate events, banquets, class reunions, weddings, rehearsal dinners, business luncheons, and holiday parties. Made from scratch meals with little or no MSGs, the variety of choices ranges from prime rib and ribeye steaks to pulled pork barbecue, grilled pork chops, and chicken cordon bleu. Also good old country cooking like meatloaf, country fried steak, and homemade soups and stews. Even specialty menus include vegetarian, diabetic, hors d'oeuvres, and appetizers. Each job is customized to fit the customer. When you want a memorable event, call Catering by Teresa today.
Thank you for coming back and joining us. The first segment is going to be a little unusual, but I think it's something that a lot of people needs to know. First of all, it can be a money saver. It's healthier, and it's called pressure canning. I have canned for years, and when I started my catering business, I had stopped canning. I didn't have time, and I've just picked it back up this year. So when I went over to Mary Carter's to revise and update my utensils and equipment, I talked to Mr. Young, and he really filled me in on a lot of things that I had forgotten. He also gave me some pointers that I needed to know, that from old school time until present time, it's changed a little bit. So one of the first things we're going to start with, this is, let me move this out of the way, this is your pressure canner. And there is a difference between a pressure canner and a pressure cooker. A pressure canner is where you put your food in the quart jars which is these. And you prep it and get it ready for the canner. Now this will hold 7 of the quart jars. If you use the small jars, which are called the pints, it'll hold 9. And a pressure cooker, they're smaller. They're like a pot. They can range from, I don't know, maybe a 6-inch all the way up to probably a 12-inch in diameter. And that's where you can cook your roast, vegetables, and it just cuts down the time maybe from a 2-hour roast to 15 minutes. And Mr. Young at Mary Carter's can also give you that information on the different pressure cookers. But what you're going to do, I'm going to just show you some of the things on the pressure canner. It's going to come with an instruction manual. Please utilize that. You're going to have a jingler, which is very important, okay? And then it's got the little, I don't know what you call it, but it keeps your jars from sitting on the bottom, so you can tell I'm country, can't you? So what you do is you place this in the bottom, you prep your jars with the food, put them in the pressure canner, put your lid, and you have to fill it with water. I almost forgot that step. Yeah. You put about 2 quarts of water after you place your jars. Okay. It's going to put the water dimension about, I don't know, about 3 inches from the bottom. But once you do that, you place your lid, okay? You always have to get it just right. You can feel it cradle, and then it will lock into place. You never want to start it without it locking into place. Okay. Once you have it locked into place, you turn your eye on of the stove. I turn mine up to medium high. What it's going to do is start building up pressure. You're going to see steam that comes out of this little vent hole. And what you do, you need to, we call it venting. You need to vent for 10 minutes. That's going to be steam that comes out.
Okay.
It's going to need, you need to come out for 10 minutes. Once 10 minutes has gone by, you take your jingler, just place it right on top, and it'll cradle. And if you want to pop it around to make sure it's on there, anyway. And when that is on there, then the steam is going to start building because you're capturing the steam inside the pressure canner. When your steam has built up, this is called a pop top. It's going to pop up. It's going to stick up about 1/4 of an inch. But when that pops up, then you're going to start building the pressure here. And I really can't remember if the pressure starts building before it pops up because it's just so natural. I just do it automatically. But this will pop up. This is called your pressure gauge. The pressure gauge has the numbers from 0 all the way over. I can't see it, but your key number is 10. In this elevation where we live in Coleman, our altitude is about 750 feet above sea level. And so the pressure on that is going to be 10.
Okay.
Now, for every 1,000 feet you go above sea level, so if somebody pulls this up on YouTube or anything and watches the show anywhere, the higher the elevation, you need to go up 1 pound of pressure.
Okay.
So if you go somewhere and you're up to 1,700 square feet, you need to do it on 11.
Okay.
So anyway, that's your pressure gauge there. Once it reaches 10, you're going to let it pressure for 25 minutes.
And you might have to adjust your temperature to keep it from going over 10?
Yes, because you want to turn it up so it'll build that pressure. If you don't turn it down, that pressure's going to just continue to go and you'll blow your top. So you never want to leave it. Kim, you always want to stay right with it.
Right with it.
And after canning a full day, I have pulled my chair up and sat right in front of my stove. You never
watch it all the time.
Yeah, you do. So you pressure it for 25 minutes, 10 pound of pressure. Once the 25 minutes has gone by, what I do is I turn the eye off, I take the pressure canner, carefully set it off the stove. Now my stove is gas, so once I have it turned off, it's off. I can leave it there. But if you have an electric stove, you want to remove it from the eye because it's going to hold that heat and your pressure's not going to come down quick enough and it's just going to continue to cook.
And you want it to start coming down quick.
Yeah, you want it to come down. Now you never want to open this until the pop top has gone down, the pressure gauge is to 0, and what I do, I just go over and I tap my jingler.
But you don't take it off.
No, you don't take it off. I don't. You want to tap it. If you hear the little sizzling sound or the whistle sound, leave it on there. But by that time, it should be enough. I take the jingler off. You're going to have steam escape. Let the steam escape a little while. Then carefully, I open my canner. Now we keep our house cool, so cool and heat clashes. So I always just open my canner, set the lid sideways for just a few minutes. Then I let it kind of come together with temp, and then remove the lid. Now, once the lid is removed, I'm just going to set this here, then I'm going to show you a few utensils. I love my little tools. This is a jar grabber, so you can grab this. You can use this.
They're going to be very hot.
They're going to be very hot. This is going to clamp down over your jar, hook it right there on the lip, and squeeze, and it'll pull it right up. You got to squeeze tight so it really grabs that jar. So this is our jar grabber. Why don't we show how to pack a can of green beans? That sound good?
Sounds good to me.
I'm going to move this over. Oh, I want to show y'all this. This is a kit. You can pick it up at Mary Carter's. So if you're just starting to learn to can, I had some of these items, but if you're starting to learn, you can go and grab this. Other than the pressure canner, this should be all you need, okay? Besides your lids and your flats, and I will show you that.
Okay.
So what we're going to do now, Kim, I'll tell you what, I'm going to let you just pack those in here.
Okay.
This is the canner funnel, so we'll use that. Just throw them in there. While Kim's doing that, I'm going to show you the flats and the rings. You have to have both when you're canning. This is your flat. You never want to reuse a flat when you're canning because this has your seal. Once you've used it canning, you can reuse it to put something in the fridge, but you never want to can with it. Okay? And this is your ring. This is going to hold the seal on there.
Okay. You want it all the way up?
I'll put just a little bit more.
Okay.
And what I do, I pack it.
Okay.
Because they're going to shrink slightly. Okay? That's why I use a pie plate. It's easy. Okay. Now to this, I've got my canning salt or pickling salt. You can use table salt, but you just don't want to use the salt that's got iodine in it.
Okay.
You want to use a pure salt. So I just always grab this. Put about a teaspoon. If it's over or less, that's okay. But about a teaspoon's all you're going to need. Now, Kim, if you want to, I've got some water there.
And the salt can just be on top?
Yeah, it'll mix when you pour the water over. You want to come up to the rim just slightly. Okay. Now, this is very important. What you want to do, especially when you're canning green beans, now these are purple green beans. I don't know if you can tell where you're at, but these are purple. Once they pressure and the heat gets to them, they'll turn green. So
they're just easier to find.
That's right. That's right. So it's with green beans especially, you want to remove the air bubbles. So this is just an air bubble remover. Okay, you never want to use metal. Don't use a knife. Don't use a butter knife.
Okay.
This is the perfect thing, and you can get this at Mary Carter. Very inexpensive. So I don't know if you can even see the air bubbles, but you want to work this around. Can you see the air bubbles coming up? Do you know why you want the air bubbles out?
No.
Botulism is very notorious to be in green beans. Okay, botulism, and this is what Mr. Young at Mary Carter told me. I knew botulism, and I knew the air bubbles. He said that botulism can live in one air bubble. Yes, in your green beans.
I did not know.
So
that.
you want to work that around, get all of the air bubbles out, pack these back down. Okay.
Do we want to fill it up any more?
Yeah, that is good.
Okay.
If you put more water in, you're gonna have more air bubbles.
Okay.
So, and take a clean cloth. I dampen a cloth. One granule of salt can keep this from sealing. So go around with a cleaned out cloth.
Do you heat those up before you put them on?
When you pressure can, you don't have to.
Okay.
Now when I'm putting jams and jellies and preserves, where you cook the item, you put it into a hot jar, you do have to heat the lids.
Okay.
Because
that's going to make it seal.
That makes it seal. And I'll show you that, or tell you about that in a second. So that's a good question, because everybody thinks you have to heat the lid. Pressure can, you don't. So the lid sets on there, the ring cradles it, you give it a tight little squeeze, and now you're ready to go. 7 of these will fit in this, and then you do the instructions as I gave you a while ago.
A question. If you only have 5, that's still okay to do it? You don't
It's not.
No.
What you need to do if you have 5, then you take some empty jars, fill them with water, and put the lids on them.
From moving around.
Keep them from moving around. You've got to have that stability in there.
Okay.
Because when that pressure builds, those cans can topple over.
Okay.
The jars. So actually, Dad did that the other day. He was canning some stuff. He said I had 6 jars, so he just put a jar of water in the middle.
Okay. And it helps them stabilize.
Good question. Yeah. So now you ask about heating the lids.
Yes.
Jams, jellies. I canned some blackberries the other day. I just got the blackberries, washed them, put them in a pot of water, brought them to a boil, put some sugar in it, and then I let it simmer for just a little while. I heated my jars to a high temp. Good way to do it is put them in the dishwasher.
Okay.
Run them through a hot cycle, open that up, and pop them in.
They're sterilized and everything.
Yeah. You never want to put a hot food item into a cold jar. They'll crack. So, but then what you do is you put the lids only into a small pan of water, bring it up to a little simmer, let it simmer for just a few minutes, and that softens the rubber on the thing. And this is a new cute little item. I used to do it with a fork, getting the lid out of the pan. It's a magnet. You just pop it in there, pop it on there, and put your lid on them.
So you don't have to touch it and get germs on it.
That's right. One thing to remember, once you're finished canning, you take the jars out, and I place mine on a towel on my kitchen cabinet, and you're going to hear a pop. Now, you see that? If you see that after you've canned, it did not seal.
Okay.
The product is not ruined. You can cook it for dinner that night.
But you can't try to seal it.
You actually can. It's just going to really cook your beans to mush.
Okay.
You know, what I have done, if I had some that didn't seal, I'd throw them in a Ziploc bag and put them in the freezer. Still preserve them, still had them. But usually you can pop them in I just cook them. So,
okay.
But what they're going to do is you're going to hear a popping sound like that, and then it's going to, see if it's not sealed, it's not going to
pop back up.
That's right.
Okay.
So you never want to store any item that does not have a seal.
Okay.
Once they're sealed, I usually leave mine, I box them up, leave them close by for a week. After that week is over, you can take the rings off. That's going to stay sealed.
Okay.
Reuse this.
Sterilize it in the water.
I just wash them in dish detergent.
Okay.
When you pressurize
because it's not really touching anything.
It's not touching any of the food. So, and that's all there is to canning. If you, like I said, when you reuse the rings, you can buy just the flats, so you don't have to buy this every time. And all of these items you can get at Mary Carter's. It's so funny. This is my blue ball book. I started out canning years ago. And they have a new one. So what you need to do, if you want to start canning and you never canned before, invest in a good pressure canner. You could also do a water bath. It's a different type of method. You don't pressure it. It's just a big pot, and it gives you all the instructions in here. You can water bath tomatoes. But two things to remember. If you pressure, 10 pound of pressure, 25 minutes on most all of your foods, but this will give you exact amounts.
Like when you do like squash or corn, it's still basically packet, a little bit of salt.
On the corn, you want to add a little water.
Water, okay, because it's more. Okay.
Yeah, and I had never canned corn until this year. You know what blew my mind? You have to pressure corn for 85 minutes. There's something about the corn, and I don't know what it is, but you have to, that's the only thing, you have to pressure that long.
Okay.
Unless you make a soup with corn in it, then guess what? 85 minutes. Corn or anything with corn in it, 85 minutes. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But if you purchase one of these, I've actually had to refer back to this in my canning this year because I had forgotten. So these you can get at Mary Carter. It'll answer all of your questions and plus more. It's so instructional. Now, here's a book. I want to give a shout out to Deb at Deb's Bookstore. I picked this up at Deb's.
Okay.
Absolutely wonderful. Full of recipes so you don't get stuck in that rut of canning. It's great. Another quick thing I want to show you. Speaking of corn, have you used one of these?
No. I just did the cut off with the knife.
That's what I always did. When I did 35 pints the other day,
I want a little bit faster.
What this is, it's a corn cutter. It's got three, okay, let me look. You've got your cutter here. It's not real sharp, but you know. Then you've got the little blades that stick up that juices the inside of the corn.
Milk out.
And then this is a little, I know you can't see this at home, but this stands up and it scrapes it.
Okay.
So I just lay mine in a pan in the sink. I get the corn, it sits in the cradle, and you just go down, turn it down. Watch your fingers. Keep your fingers above.
Okay.
And it's so simple. It probably cut down my labor in half or more.
Because you usually have to cut it and then scrape it.
Yeah, so it's wonderful. I really hope I've answered the questions on canning, and really get out there and go try it because it's healthier, it's cheaper, it's wonderful. And honestly, my canner that I bought probably 25 years ago at Mary Carter, still using it. I just bought a new one because you didn't want to see my old one. One thing to remember, every year I take mine to Mary Carter, have my gauge checked. A wrong gauge could mess you up.
And what about your seal inside it?
Seal,
Do you think they check that too?
They really don't, because you can tell if it's dry ready.
Okay.
After I do every canning, I take it out, wash it, and put it in there and store it.
And don't
Let it
store
air
it in,
dry.
okay.
Yeah, and then put the seal back in before you can.
Okay.
So, you got any questions?
Sounds good to me. I'm gonna try. Yes, I am. I definitely am.
Okay, I know that took a little time, more time than I really thought, but I had a lot to cover. So, get canning, but right now we're going to take a break. We're going to listen to our sponsors. We're going to come back, and we're going to start on a gluten-free menu. So, come back and check us out.
Sounds good.
You know, if you're looking for that hometown banker that's there to serve you when you walk through the doors, you need to try Traditions Bank of Coleman. We have been with them for years and never had a problem. You need to check them out. They have online banking, which is super easy. I use that all the time. They have a friendly staff. They have 6 locations to serve you, so there shouldn't be a problem with checking one of the banks out. They do checking, savings accounts, in-house loans, and many different things. See, they do so many, I get them all mixed up. But what you need to do is go by there, talk to one of the ladies in there, the gentleman in there, or give Debbie a call for that low interest rate. Her number is 256-735-2121. Tanya Williams, she is a farmer's insurance agent, and she has Access Realty, so she's a busy lady. She knows what she's doing. If you're looking for homeowners insurance, commercial insurance, or recreational vehicle insurance, mobile homes, you need to give her a call. She also has Access Realty, so if you're looking for a home, commercial property, they have commercial in the city, they have property in the county. She has Smith Lake property for sale, also farms, so she can take care of any real estate needs you have. She's located at Good Hope. She's on the left by Clayton Mobile Homes. Give Tanya a call. Her number is 256-736-2636. And Chastity Jordan, she is my niece, and I just want to give a shout out to Chastity. She's a master cosmetologist. She works at J. Drake Salon. But if you need a certain hairstyle, a cut, or a color, you need to take care of it in August, because Chastity's taking maternity leave. And I'm so very proud of her, so we want to wish her well on that. She's been in business for over 16 years. She's been doing hair. So give Chastity a call and set up that appointment for the new school look. Her number is 256-734-2042.
Catering by Teresa is rapidly becoming a tradition to the people of Coleman County. For over 12 years, Teresa has catered corporate events, banquets, class reunions, weddings, rehearsal dinners, business luncheons, and holiday parties. Made from scratch meals with little or no MSGs, the variety of choices ranges from prime rib and ribeye steaks to pulled pork barbecue, grilled pork chops, and chicken cordon bleu. Also good old country cooking like meatloaf, country fried steak, and homemade soups and stews. Even specialty menus include vegetarian, diabetic, hors d'oeuvres, and appetizers. Each job is customized to fit the customer. When you want a memorable event, call Catering by Teresa today.
Welcome back. Are you ready, Kim?
I'm ready.
Okay, we're going to do the stuffed jalapeno peppers.
Okay.
We're going to get those going, set those aside. We're going to jump on the asparagus wraps.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Then a 7-layer salad. We got a lot to do this time.
Got a lot to do.
Okay, what we're going to do is we've got our pan started here. We've got our pan, and we're going to line that with aluminum foil, because anytime you're messing with cheese, I hate cleanup. So while I'm mixing in a few minutes, the aluminum foil's there, you can do that. But what we're going to start with is I've got 1 8-ounce and a 4-ounce of cream cheese.
Okay. Softened?
Softened, room temperature.
Okay.
And this may be a little difficult because I left it in the cooler. So anyway, we'll just be tough with it. I have got a ½ pound of bacon. I've cooked to a crisp, and then I've crumbled it, chopped it up. So let's start there. Good deal. And I've got a ½ cup of cheese, shredded cheese. We're going to put that in there. And then about a teaspoon of Lowry's seasoning salt.
Love that.
I do too. It's easy. If you want to do your own seasoning, the easiest thing to do is salt, pepper, paprika, garlic, and onion powder.
Okay.
That, if you want to make your own, and I do that quite often.
Okay.
But for a quick fix, I do that. Now, if you want to, Kim, I'm going to let you start on this. If you just want to mash it and kind of get it incorporated a little.
I sure will.
I'm going to cut the jalapeno. I've got 6 jalapeno peppers.
So you want to wear gloves while you're doing that?
Yeah, well, I know, but I never do. Sometimes I do. Just don't touch the eyes. What you want to do is you take the jalapeno peppers. I like to use this size, good size for stuffing. You want to cut the end off. If I was doing a lot, I would wear gloves, but I'm doing the one, so I'm not going to. Cut it in half lengthwise. Okay. I take a teaspoon and I hull out the center.
And is it true that the seeds and everything carry the most heat?
Yes, the seed and the vein. So if you cut the seed and the vein out, you lose a lot of that biting heat. You still get the warmth and the flavor of the jalapeno.
But not the hot.
Right. So I just cut that out. I don't know if y'all at home can see me, but using a spoon is so simple because it has the curve of the jalapeno pepper, and you just haul it out. I've already done these because I didn't want to have to do them all on the show and start sneezing and crying and all that stuff. So once we do this, see, it's almost choking me up now.
There's the loud aluminum foil.
Good deal. You don't have to do the aluminum foil. I like it because it cuts down on cleanup time.
If you've ever had to scrub cheese, you'll use aluminum foil.
Yeah. But let me tell you what I've started using. I have bought a certain cookware. It's called Celebrating Homes. Oh my goodness. It's a pottery cookware. Everything they have is, and I'm telling you this because I love it. Started buying it. You can bake in it. You don't have to spray it, and it comes right out. It's crazy.
Wow.
I'll tell you about it, girl.
This is a good muscle walk around.
Yeah.
Too.
Take a cooking spray, lightly spray the bottom. We're going to line the jalapenos in the pan. We may only stuff just a couple to give the idea. And then during the break, we can stuff the rest of them and get them cooked, okay? So what we'll do, you want to do it? Do you want me to do it?
Show me how to do it.
Okay. I just take a little, I pick up the jalapeno. I place them in the pan so I'll know how many I can get.
Right.
Oh.
It's a jumper.
We're going to go to this one.
Just kind of
It's
smooth.
funny.
Okay.
Smooth it out.
And that's it.
Yeah, he thought he was going to get away from me, but he still hopped in a pepper. Yeah, just press it down in it.
Okay.
That's it. I like a lot.
And then that'll cook down and meld together. Okay.
Yeah. We just fill it. And what I do, I take a little cheese and I lay it on top, but I also press it down a little.
So it gets in there real good. Okay.
That's it. So what we're going to do, we're going to set these aside during the break. We're going to come back and do these and get them cooked. So let's set these down here.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're going to jump to our asparagus wraps. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Thank goodness for our lower shelves. Okay. If you can see the difference, I've already blanched these. Remember we said to blanch them, put them in boiling water.
For 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Take them out, put them directly into ice water. It stops the cooking.
And I did it, and then they are delicious.
And they work. But before you do that, you have to snap off the ends. You can cut them, but I like to just snap because it's going to snap at a different length.
And it snaps where it's tender.
Yeah, yeah.
That's tough.
Discard this.
And I've tried to eat it. Don't.
And you can, because I think, I hate to waste that. I hate to waste anything.
But it's not good.
It's not good. So you just snap these off. And I'm just going to put these down here because they're not blanched. So we have our asparagus. It's been blanched. Oh, and I put salt in my water. Flavors it a little bit more.
Asparagus, okay.
What I've got here, cream cheese, an 8-ounce container of cream cheese, and a tablespoon of hidden any ranch powdered mix will do.
Okay.
And I put a tablespoon of that in it, and 1/4 of a cup of mayonnaise.
Okay.
So the 8-ounce cream
Softened
cheese.
cream cheese. Everything's soft. Okay.
Yeah, it just mixes well. I just buy the 8-ounce block,
Let it
quarter
get
cup of
ripped up.
mayonnaise. Yeah, that's it. So we've got that. We're going to get a spatula here. Now we're going to use a spoon. I like doing a spoon. And you can use any deli meat. You can use prosciutto, whatever. I happen to love Cajun roast beef.
And it's
then I've got the deli ham. So what we're going to do here, we're going to start, let's see, I'm going to lay a paper towel down. I did not bring my trusted plastic cutting board over to lay it on. So Start with the deli ham or roast beef. And I use the back of the spoon. So simple. Just put a light coating on, like that. Take your asparagus. And I like the flour part to stand up. If you happen to get a short one, I was looking for a short one in there, you can just adjust it to whatever length. Okay?
Make it look like it's in a little bud base.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that beautiful?
Just like that. Let me get a platter here. We'll do a few of those. And there's you a paper towel.
Give me a paper towel.
And we'll share the spoon. And can you reach that?
Sure can.
You just reach across. Doesn't matter. I'm going to do a ham. That ham is kind of large. I'm going to cut it. Okay. Why don't I put you a couple over there?
Okay.
That work?
Perfect.
This is a time-consuming project, but it is so good.
It is delicious.
Because actually, if you're having a party, having a get-together, or just want them to snack on, these can be done in advance. I grabbed your spoon.
It's okay.
And they'll sit in the fridge. Just keep them covered. But they're so simple. And you can arrange them.
Delicious.
Yeah. You can arrange them on a platter very delicately.
And your good finger foods or just snacks.
Gluten-free.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gluten-free. That's there's so many people, you know, that's allergic to gluten now.
My niece is.
And there's so many people that's watching their carbs. So not only is it gluten-free, it's low in carbs.
Here's a short one, so I'm just going to stick it up a little bit and have
That'll
more.
work. That'll work. And like this, I've got a little cream cheese on it. If I'm doing it for presentation, I'm
Yeah,
really
I
picky.
kinda-
If I'm doing it for family, hey, I'll leave it on there. It's just more
Just
to
more
eat.
extra.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to do one more,
Okay.
and then we'll jump onto the 7-layer salad, and we'll finish these up during the break. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Because I've got too much going on to dwell on these items.
These are one of my favorites.
I know.
And look at the platter, isn't it pretty?
Gorgeous. Now I used regular cream cheese, but you can use low-fat or fat-free if you're really watching
Really
it.
watching it?
You
Because
can.
asparagus is nothing.
Yeah, the asparagus is, and if you're on Weight Watchers, it's like a freebie, the asparagus is. You can use turkey. I like the turkey. So, okay. I'm going to wrap this up here. I'm going to set these to the side. And we're going to go quickly on this 7-layer salad.
Those there.
Yeah, okay. We have already got,
This?
I'm going to put it right here. We've got I did about 2 head of romaine lettuce. You can use iceberg, whatever you like.
Mom uses iceberg, but I love romaine.
I do. It's got more vitamins. So what we're going to do with this, we're going to start out with about, you can put celery in it. I don't like the crunch of celery, but I like the taste. So like everybody else, I've got my own little quirks. I put about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of celery seed on there, okay? Then, now the bell peppers, the onions, and the water chestnuts, any layer, doesn't matter which comes first. But you start with your lettuce, celery seed, or celery. I've got a small bell pepper, or a half of a large. Sprinkle it on there evenly. I've already pre-diced all of this so we wouldn't cry.
And you can use scallions if you wanted to.
Yes, scallions. I didn't have any scallions. Mine are gone in the garden, so I just used just a regular white onion. Vidalias are wonderful.
Oh, yeah. That sweet taste.
Yes. And a small to a medium onion. Okay. That's enough on that. A lot of times I just eyeball it. And if you don't like onions, or if you don't like bell peppers, or allergic to anything, leave it out. This is a salad you can play with. I'm going to put a pinch of salt in here. I made one, oh, that's my pepper. I made one the other day and I didn't put any salt. It was a little bit bland. So I'm going to do a little salt on this one. And I don't want the salt on the lettuce directly, so I put a couple of items on there before I salt it. Just a little pepper, just for good measure.
Give it a little spice.
Yeah, spice her up a little. Water chestnuts, funny story. My brother and I used to fight over the whole water chestnuts when they were, the round. So in the 7-layer salad, we'd try to dig them out. So I started chopping them up.
Okay.
Now he has to dig for them.
Yes. Because they eat more salad, but they're delicious.
That's right.
And if you like more of those, you can put more in.
You can put more, yeah. All that is just one of the 8-ounce containers. So, while I'm adding the peas, if you will put, I've got 3 cups of a heavy-duty mayonnaise. A Hellman's is a good heavy-duty mayonnaise. If you're watching it, you want the calories, you can do low-fat. You can make any of this low-fat. So, to the 3 cups of mayonnaise, I do 2 tablespoons per cup. So, Kim, if you'll throw 6 tablespoons in there, that'd be wonderful. Now, what I'm doing next, this is a frozen pea, a frozen green pea. Get it in the freezer section. A canned English pea just does
They're
not.
too soft.
Yeah, they're soft. They're not good in this recipe. You got to have the pop.
The frozen are the best.
They really are. You can use the whole box of the green peas, or you can use just some. Now, when I get at this point, I do a little pack. Okay. Level it out. Pack it down. Now, when I'm doing this at home, I usually use some sort of plastic container with a tight-fitting lid because it does need to sit at least 6 hours, up to 24. It's a wonderful thing to do. Yeah.
And if you use a clear one, they can see the layers too.
Looks good,
It's
doesn't
really
it?
pretty.
So,
Okay.
are we ready? Since this salad does have to sit for a while, but today we're going to fudge. We're going to eat it in a little bit. But what you do is when you add the mayonnaise, you want to spread it around. You want to cover every crook and cranny because what you're doing, you're actually sealing in all of these vegetables. And believe it or not, when you serve this, it's not soggy because your lettuce is underneath all of this. Okay? I hope you can see this. If not, I'm spreading the mayonnaise mixture.
And if the peas move, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because it makes it even prettier.
Okay. Just so we've got everything covered. Okay. Now we're going to do the Parmesan cheese.
Okay, Parmesan cheese.
I've got a 1/2 cup here. The recipe calls for anywhere from 1/4 of a cup to a 1/2. I eyeball it. If you're using a really large container, it might take a little more to spread it, but you really need this Parmesan cheese. And I just buy the canned, you know. You can do your fresh if you want to.
Could you do grated if you want? Other than that kind, the little
You can grate your own. Yeah, you can buy the shredded.
shredded. That's what I'm trying to say.
You can buy that. So there's many ways you can go about that.
And jazz it up.
Yeah. To this, we're going to add. I've got 8 hard-boiled eggs. I have cut those, chop those up. So see, this is a simple
Actually,
recipe.
it's a 9-layer salad.
Yeah. I fudged a little on the
We're adding all
7-layer
kinds of good
salad.
stuff.
Yeah, I add some things to it.
But it's going to be good.
I have a pound of bacon. A pound.
I love bacon.
I do
Bacon
too.
goes with everything.
Oh yeah, bacon goes by itself. Okay, I've cooked the bacon to a crisp, crumbled it, and now we have tomatoes, fresh from my garden.
Oh, they're going to be good.
I'm going to use a spoon to do the tomatoes because I diced them up and they set, so they might have some juice accumulated in the bottom, and we don't want that.
To make it soggy.
If I would have chopped these up as we were doing it, it wouldn't do this. But I knew we were going to be pressed for time because we had to fit so much in this segment. Because I think
beautiful.
everything that we're doing needs to be done or said. And I've done 3. I did 3 tomatoes, 3 medium-sized tomatoes, and that one I didn't chop well enough, but that's okay. If you want to use more, if you want to use less, that's entirely up to your discretion. Like I said, this is a salad that you can play around with.
Customize it to your own taste.
Yeah, you can. If you don't like something or you're allergic to something, you can just leave it out. It's no big deal. If you want to add something that you like, I've heard of people that add cucumbers. You can chop asparagus and add that to it.
That would be pretty.
To get more greens in. So, but what you want to do now at this point in time, you want to cover it. So we're going to cover this with some aluminum foil, and we're going to set it in the fridge and let it just sit until we do the presentation later.
Right, so it can melt together.
Yeah, but 2 things to remember. You can modify this many different ways, but if you use bacon, don't use bacon bits.
Oh, no. has to be all good real
Yeah,
stuff.
it's got to be the good bacon, and you need to use the frozen green peas, not canned.
Right, because they're too mushy.
Yeah, and it transforms the salad to...
And the frozen one, like you said, gives it that crunch.
Yeah, I like the
pop.
crunch. So, well, this is our 7-layer salad. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a break. I want you to listen to our sponsors, and when you go into any of our sponsors' facilities, thank them for sponsoring our shows, because without them, this would not be possible. So we're going to take a break. Kim and I are going to finish up some of the asparagus wraps and stuffed jalapenos, and we're going to come back and do a chicken cordon bleu.
Ooh, sounds good.
And blueberry crumble with fresh blueberries.
Oh, awesome.
So, anyway, y'all come back and join us, and we're going to get started on this. Thank you very much. We want to thank Traditions Bank of Coleman for being our lead sponsor of What's Cooking with Teresa. For your hometown banker with low interest rates, they have 6 locations to serve you. They have online banking. They have a wonderful, friendly staff. We have used Traditions Bank for years. Never a problem. They're always there for you. They do checking, savings account, in-house loans, and many more. You need to give Debbie a call at 256-735-2121. We also want to thank Doug Doggett and his family. Doug Doggett Jewelers is located on the south end of Coleman by Ryan Steakhouse. They've been in business for over 30 years. Wonderful staff. They're always there for you. They do customized jewelry. They do in-house jewelry repair, and that is very important. They have a wonderful Sorelli selection, and this fall, well, actually, starting now, they're going to have the new fall items coming in, so you need to get down there and check them out. Give them a call at 256-734-7883. And we have a new sponsor for the show, Mary Carter's. If you've never been in their store, you're missing a treat. They have so many items: pressure canners, pressure cookers, dehydrators, and accessories. They have radio fly wagons and items for the children. They do customized picture framing, and they have a complete line of fishing tackle and live bait and cast iron cooking items. Now, you know cast iron is the in thing now. So where can you go to find all of those items in such a variety? And they have been in business for over 49 years. They know how to take care of their customers. They're located on 104 4th Street Southeast. Go by or give them a call at 256-734-7908.
Catering by Teresa is rapidly becoming a tradition to the people of Coleman County. For over 12 years, Teresa has catered corporate events, banquets, class reunions, weddings, rehearsal dinners, business luncheons, and holiday parties. Made from scratch meals with little or no MSGs. The variety of choices ranges from prime rib and ribeye steaks to pulled pork barbecue, grilled pork chops, and chicken cordon bleu. Also good old country cooking like meatloaf, country fried steak, and homemade soups and stews. Even specialty menus include vegetarian, diabetic, hors d'oeuvres, and appetizers. Each job is customized to fit the customer. When you want a memorable event, call Catering by Teresa today.
Thank you for coming back and joining us. You were probably wondering how we were going to do chicken cordon bleu and let it be gluten-free. But I went over to Living Well, it's the health food store. They have so many gluten-free items, and they gave me this to try. We have tapioca flour and then gluten-free breadcrumbs. Both of these are gluten-free items, and we're using in our meals today. And I want to thank Steve for donating these for the show. So if you have any issues with being gluten-free, just give them a call. Check them out, and it's wonderful over there. Yeah, and they're so nice. So I want to thank them, and I just wanted to give them a shout-out for these items. So, now we're going to start with the chicken cordon bleu. I have my gloves on. I'm going to use the tongs. Well, actually, I'm not. I'm going to just do this, and then I'm going to take my gloves off. So, what we're going to do, I took a boneless, skinless chicken breast. Now, I laid it on saran wrap or a plastic wrap, covered it, and then pounded it with a meat. Okay. So, you want it to be flat. Yeah. So, we'll lay it down. I'm going to let you be my hands on this for a second. Will you peel me 1 Swiss cheese? And then 1 ham. and then you can just lay it on there and I'll place it. I just didn't want to contaminate.
Right.
Because anytime you're filming with chicken, please don't cross-contaminate. That's so important. So what I do is you lay them down. I put in the Swiss cheese first and then the ham. And then I just, let me see if you can see this. I roll, oh, I don't want to touch that. I almost did. You just roll it up. You can toothpick these if you want to. If you don't want to, that's fine. So we're going to get these going. Do a few of these. There we go again. While I'm doing this, if you want to get the that brown pie plate and put the eggs in it, I've got 2 eggs. And I'll probably hound you every second to put some ham and cheese over here. There you go. Thank you, darling. We're rocking on. And you'll just pour the eggs in there when you get a whisk. Set that aside. Because what we're going to do a dry, wet, dry.
After it's rolled?
After it's rolled. And I like to roll everything up first, but due to us being wanting to get them in the skillet, I'm going to get you to do that for me while we do this.
And we don't bake them?
No. I have baked them, and I have done the skillets, and using the gluten-free and the items that we're using, they turned out better. So if you'll put me another, that's okay, girl. Thank you very much. Yeah, but do the breadcrumbs. Yeah, that's the gluten-free breadcrumbs. Put about half of that parsley in there. A good tablespoon. Yeah, that's good. And then about just a pinch of that. That's garlic powder. One more pinch. There you go. And then a pinch of black pepper. I'm telling you to do all my work for me, aren't I?
Is that a good pinch?
That's a good pinch. We're just seasoning these breadcrumbs up. And then I've got the salt here.
Okay.
I'll let you put the salt in.
Got black pepper everywhere. Is that a good salt?
Yeah, a little bit more. Okay. Just because you've got to eat gluten-free doesn't mean you can't flavor the stuff, right? But if you are on a low-salt diet, low-sodium diet, you do want to watch it. Okay? I'm going to let you put me one more cheese and ham on there, and then we'll be finished with the chicken. We can do the rest later. And these don't have to be perfect, but as you just tuck and roll. As you roll these up, just tuck and roll, okay? Now, I've got my chicken ready. Okay? Now, if you'll take that, what that is a tapioca flour. They have rice flour. They have different gluten-free flours. I just picked that one up because I could use it in 2 different recipes. So, all right, Kim? If you will remove that for me. I'm so sorry, but I just don't want to touch anything. And if you'll turn the electric skillet on.
What do you want it on?
Press.
This button?
Press the on right there.
This one?
Press it down. And then.
The light went off.
Okay. What do we have? Okay, press it again. And then go up a couple of times. And take the lid off, and I'm going to let you drizzle some olive oil and some melted butter in there. That'll be good.
Olive oil?
Olive oil. Just pour, girl, pour.
You tell me.
Okay, while Kim's doing that, I'm going to get started on the wet, dry. The dry, wet, dry. That'll be good.
And some
Yeah, just a little bit of butter for the flavor.
Just some
Yeah, you don't want to put a lot so it won't burn. All right. I'm going to take the chicken rolls. We'll roll them in the dry. Shake it off. Dip them in the egg wash. Ooh, shoe, fly shoe. Luckily he was on the side of the pan.
No
Didn't get in it. I think that's what we get for living in the South. Yeah. That's one thing I just cannot stand in my kitchen.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Now,
Good? Shake it off a little. We're just going to lay these in.
Okay.
I'm going to quickly do these. And when you're rolling these, keep your hands holding it together. Because since I didn't pin it,
it'll want to try to come
apart. Want to come apart.
And when you do the flour first, that makes the makes the egg and the other stick better.
It really does.
And you don't. You think it would go egg flour this, but it doesn't.
But it doesn't. And for years, I never did the dry, wet, dry. And when I learned to do that, it's kind of like your batter sticks. Have you ever tried to turn a piece of meat after you battered it and the batter just comes off?
Yeah.
I mean, it just slides right off. That's it. That's why you do this method. Yeah.
And you think it would be opposite, but it's not.
But it's
not. It does work.
It really does.
And that's tapioca flour.
Tapioca flour, gluten-free.
Gluten-free breadcrumbs.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I experimented with this because before I put it on the show, I wanted to make sure, you know, not that I doubt anybody, but I experimented, and I was eating some chicken cordon bleu at 11 o'clock last night. Needless to say, it was very good. Yeah, I couldn't tell the difference. Really, I couldn't.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Because when you season it up,
The seasoning and
Yeah.
everything goes really
and the breadcrumbs,
good.
they were really, I couldn't tell the difference. Yeah, and you just use your same seasoning. Shake it off. And what I
you doing
try to
warming
do,
I don't want to burn any.
right, I think it is.
Just needs to kind of cook slow.
Needs to cook a little slow because the inside of the layers of the chicken's got to get done.
Right.
What I usually do is cook it about 3 minutes on one side, about 3 minutes on the other side, and if it's browned but you have a little doubt, if they're really big rolls,
Just let it set in there and keep
let
cooking.
it set and turn it down a little bit and let it keep cooking. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my gloves off with the chicken stuff on it, clean this mess up, and get started.
Our jalapenos.
Jalapenos are done, which is a good thing. Okay, we're going to set the chicken down here. And Kim, if you don't care, I'm going to let you get the bleach. You know how we are, well, everybody that watches the show knows I don't go anywhere without my bleach spray bottle.
And it is wonderful.
It really is. It's such a time saver. And I'm going to spray a little on my side. Need some paper towels?
I got them right here.
Gotcha. We're going to get this started.
And here's your son.
Oh, you're so sweet. I didn't use these tongs, so if you need to use those to turn those in a minute, they need to brown pretty good before you turn them.
Do I need to put the lid on them?
No, not right now. Not while we're browning. I think we'll be good. Okay. Now we're going to start on a blueberry crumble.
Yum, yum.
And the blueberries came from Kay Cagle, here from the station. Gorgeous blueberry bushes. Gorgeous. So, and as far as a thickener, I'm using the tapioca flour again.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. So, I've got 3 cups of the blueberries.
Okay.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to put, no, this is not the bowl I want. I want this bowl.
Got one
Due
hanging
to
on.
the, yeah. I'm going to mix my dry ingredients in
Okay.
there. So I take about a third of the blueberries, and I give them a mash. Okay?
Okay, just a slight mash.
Just a slight mash. Putting in a cup of sugar.
And let me stick on you.
Cup of sugar.
All this humidity we've had,
Oh yeah,
the rain.
that looks so good. You don't want to mush, but
Wanna
these
break them a little
blueberries,
bit.
yeah, they're full of pectin. They have a natural thickener to them.
And they're great antioxidants.
They really are.
Antioxidants.
They're awesome. That's all I'm going to mash those. I'm going to add the rest of the blueberries. I'm going to let you give those a toss.
Okay.
And I'm going to mix the dry ingredients for the crumble part.
Okay. And that's our tapioca flour.
That's our tapioca flour.
Flour.
I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons. This is 5 tablespoons here. I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons to that, and that's going to be just an additional thickener.
Okay.
That's all we're going to need of that.
Just getting thick.
Okay. Now this is for the dry ingredients.
Okay.
I have got 1 cup of rolled oats. These are not the processed oats. These are not the minute oats. These are just regular old rolled oats.
Okay.
And if you cook those by themselves, they do take a little bit longer because they're still a whole product.
Right.
I've taken 1 cup of the same oats and I put them in my food processor to make a flour.
That is
Because you
awesome.
cannot use a wheat product
Correct.
in the gluten-free.
And that makes the flour.
Yeah, this gives you the texture of the flour. And tell you what I'm going to do, the tapioca flour, that's why I forgot why I had extra. I'm going to put about 3 tablespoons, 2 to 3 tablespoons in this mixture too.
Okay. This looks awesome.
Good deal. Now to this, I'm going to add a cup of brown sugar. And I'm going to give this a stir. How is our chicken doing?
I think we're ready to turn.
Ready
Do
to
you think
turn?
so?
Very possibly so.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we're golden brown.
Looking good. I'm going to reach across, Kim, and get
The butter?
melted butter. You're going to put about, I've got about 3/4 cup here. I'm going to use about a 1/2 cup to start with. you don't want it to be so moist it's liquid. All you want it to do is for this to stick together and
Will that
form
be
a
okay
crumble.
like that?
It should, unless it falls. You can just stick it here because we bleached our table. Our table is good.
Okay.
And we won't put nothing else over there in case the chicken, it touched some raw chicken.
So you're just putting a little in there to
Yeah.
thicken it?
Yeah.
Make it a,
Make a crumble, make it like a streusel.
okay. You don't want it mushy, just kind of a dry combined.
Just combine it good. We're going to take our bowl, spray it lightly with some cooking spray. Then we're going to put our blueberries that you
Oh, you're putting
sowed.
blueberries in first?
Put
Okay.
your blueberries in. Spread them around. Then we're going to take our crumble.
And we're, okay.
I'm sorry, I just got to dig in. You cannot make a good crumble without
Without
mashing
hand.
it together.
These are the best mixers you have.
God gave me these. I had to buy the others.
That's exactly right.
These were a gift. Okay, see how it looks? The way you can tell you've got a good crumble is you take it, and if you squeeze it, and it holds. You know? It's not going to hold like glue, but it's going to hold together.
Right.
Okay? We're going to top this.
See, I thought that would be on the bottom and the,
Yeah.
but see, that's why I'm not a good cook. But I'm
You
learning.
are! I made some extra crumble for this because these blueberries are so full of juice.
We want them to be, yeah.
Because they're going to come up and bubble up and over. So that's it. How easy is that?
That is very easy.
You know, and if you wanted to make this a diabetic type of meal, just use an artificial sweetener, Splenda, stevia, anything like that. Mix that in there with your blueberries to give them that little extra sweetness. I guess, now the brown sugar, you can cut back on the brown sugar
Right,
if you're
but we
diabetic.
need the brown sugar.
Yeah,
and the
need
brown
to-
sugar is sugar and molasses, correct?
It sure is. And a diabetic can eat the brown sugar easier than they can have a true raw sugar.
Okay.
So, but if you really want to cut back, you can do half sugar, half stevia or something, and half brown sugar.
sugar,
But you've
okay.
got to have some of that brown sugar. Anyway, this is ready to go in the oven. What we're going to do with this is cook it on 325. You don't want to overcook it on a high heat. The blueberries have to get done. 325 for about 30 minutes, 35, 40, depending on how big and how deep. You know, if you pick a big one, you've got to cook it a little longer. But that's it. It's going to get done.
That is
And
awesome.
our chicken cordon bleu is almost done.
It's cooking away.
All right. So we've finished with this segment. So what we're going to do is we're going to come and check out our sponsors.
Okay.
We're going to come back. We're going to display everything that we've done
Okay.
and eat.
And eat. That's the best part.
Thank y'all. Y'all come back and see what we've prepared today and take a taste with us. You know, if you're looking for that hometown banker that's there to serve you when you walk through the doors, you need to try Traditions Bank of Coleman. We have been with them for years and never had a problem. You need to check them out. They have online banking, which is super easy. I use that all the time. They have a friendly staff. They have 6 locations to serve you, so there shouldn't be a problem with checking one of the banks out. They do checking, savings accounts, in-house loans, and many different things. See, they do so many, I get them all mixed up. But what you need to do is go by there, talk to one of the ladies in there, the gentleman in there, or give Debbie a call for that low interest rate. Her number is 256-735-2121. Tanya Williams, she is a farmer's insurance agent and she has Access Realty, so she's a busy lady. She knows what she's doing. If you're looking for homeowners insurance, commercial insurance, or recreational vehicle insurance, mobile homes, you need to give her a call. She also has Access Realty, so if you're looking for a home, commercial property, they have commercial in the city, they have property in the county. She has Smith Lake property for sale, also farms, so she can take care of any real estate needs you have. She's located at Good Hope. She's on the left by Clayton Mobile Homes. Give Tanya a call. Her number is 256-736-2636. And Chastity Jordan, she is my niece, and I just want to give a shout out to Chastity. She's a master cosmetologist. She works at J. Drake Salon. But if you need a certain hairstyle, a cut, or a color, you need to take care of it in August because Chastity's taking maternity leave. And I'm so very proud of her, so we want to wish her well on that. She's been in business for over 16 years. She's been doing hair. So give Chastity a call and set up that appointment for the new school look. Her number is 256-734-2042.
Catering by Teresa is rapidly becoming a tradition to the people of Cullman County. For over 12 years, Teresa has catered corporate events, banquets, class reunions, weddings, rehearsal dinners, business luncheons, and holiday parties. Made from scratch meals with little or no MSGs. The variety of choices ranges from prime rib and ribeye steaks to pulled pork barbecue, grilled pork chops, and chicken cordon bleu. Also good old country cooking like meatloaf, country fried steak, and homemade soups and stews. Even specialty menus include vegetarian, diabetic, hors d'oeuvres, and appetizers. Each job is customized to fit the customer. When you want a memorable event, call Catering by Teresa today.
Okay, thank you for sticking with us throughout the whole show, and thank you for Traditions Bank for being our lead sponsor, and all of our other sponsors. Now we're going to see what we did. When we first started out, we did the 7-layer salad, which is awesome. I can't wait to dig into.
Exactly.
That's always a holiday meal for you.
Yes, it is.
Then we did our stuffed jalapeno peppers that came out of our garden. Actually, they were picking those peppers for me last night.
So they are fresh.
Fresh. We have the chicken cordon bleu that we used gluten-free breading on. And, not to say the least, of our asparagus wraps that you love.
My favorite.
We did a Cajun roast beef and a ham. And to wrap it up and to finish the meal, we did a blueberry crumble using fresh blueberries. And it's also gluten-free. Everything we have today, Kim, is gluten-free.
That's awesome.
So you can take the meals and just do awesome things with them if you've got the right products.
Exactly.
So anyway, I just want to say I love your necklace.
Oh, thank you. It's Midnight Moon.
And?
It's Sorelli from Doug Dog Jewelers. The earrings, too. And you have running water on.
Running water.
It is a new color, and it is awesome.
And I love it. I love the Sorelli. And I always wear something different every show.
Yes.
Thanks to the
We
compliments of Doug
appreciate
Doggett and his family. It's wonderful jewelry, guys. You've got to go down there and check it out. Now, you have some fall colors coming out, new items.
We have fall colors coming out, and we should have those this month, I believe.
All right.
And then they'll come out with a holiday closer to Christmas. So come see us and see what all we have.
I think maybe every month they look to see what necklace I have on other than what I cook. But anyway, I'm ready to dig in. Are you?
I am too.
All right.
You ready?
Hey, hand me the large spoon. Now, I don't know how y'all do it, but on the 7-layer salad, instead of just leaving it and serving it, everybody scoops the gooey off the top.
Right.
So usually I do just a visual line, and I go to the bottom. I do. Because the mayonnaise, the Parmesan cheese, the sugar, you've got to get the taste.
Everybody wants to get the good stuff
They get
at
the good,
top and
yeah.
leave the bottom, and it's all good when
Yeah.
it's stuff.
So before I ever set this on the serving table, I stir half. Leave the other half for presentation, and then that way, when they come and serve themselves,
It's already
done. So we'll get some tongs and some spoons and dig in.
There's some tongs.
Tong tong,
Tongs.
tong tong.
And some more tongs. Ooh,
I have to be silly with it, don't I? And then we'll use some one for the blueberry crumble. And I'll take a plate.
There you go.
All right. I've got to start out with the salad. I love the salad. You want me to dip you a little?
Yes, dip me some. Okay.
Now, you're not a spicy eater, are you?
Yeah, no, I'm
Oh,
sorry,
dog.
but they
I'll
look
have to
good.
eat yours.
You eat mine for me because
Okay,
it
I
looks
will.
awesome.
But you know what? I'm not going to eat it on the show because it is hot and I might
Break out in a sweat.
Well, wait a minute. Let me see.
The cooking, it does bring the heat down some, doesn't it?
Oh, God, they're so good. I get yours.
Okay. But does cooking it bring the heat down some?
It really does.
Okay.
You can taste the heat, the flavor of the jalapeno, but it does bring
It's
it down
not
some.
burning the meal because it's too hot.
No, it definitely don't set you on fire. Okay, how about some chicken cordon bleu?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Whoa.
Well, I'll take that one since I messed it up.
It's a slippery booger.
There you go.
And these are my favorite. I'm going to serve you first, though.
Thank you, darling.
Whoop, you want a Cajun one?
Nah, I'll start with
Okay,
this.
I'm going to do the Cajun one because it's one of my favorite, too. Scoot it over here so I have room for the crumb.
Thank you, darling.
Looks beautiful. All that good.
I can't wait to try this.
All right, let me get you the fork.
Thank you, sweetie.
All right.
I've got to start with the salad. Actually, I started with the pepper, didn't I?
Delicious. I can taste the bacon and all the stuff.
So you have to use the real bacon. Okay, now I've got to eat this. I love asparagus.
I'm gonna start from yeah. Perfect. Got the punch.
Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set my plate down because I'm going to tear into this chicken cordon bleu in a second. And I want to thank Custom Catering 2012 at yahoo.com. You can pull us up on, excuse me, I knew the pepper would do it, but it's good.
It is.
You can pull us up on the website at www.whatscookingwiththeresa.com. Any suggestions? You just call and tell me. I had a lady to call one night and ask how I was doing something. She had a question.
That's great.
So it was wonderful, wonderful. And I think next, on our next program that we film, I'm going to do some back to school meals. I'm going to do some, maybe a couple of diabetic meals. I'm trying to incorporate health. And then we're going to do some cast iron cooking.
Ooh,
I love it.
Yes, cast iron.
So be sure to watch all of our programs. If you have any questions, call me, email me, or text, whatever. And I want to thank Kim for joining us on the show.
I enjoyed it very much.
Thank our sponsors. Y'all have a blessed day, and thank you for watching.